You are training the people around you to treat you exactly the way you expect them to. Every complaint you have about someone's behavior towards you carries your fingerprints on it, and by the end of this, you'll understand the mechanism so clearly that you'll never be able to unsee it. Think about someone in your life who frustrates you, a partner who dismisses your feelings, a boss who overlooks your contributions, a friend who only calls when they need something. You've probably told yourself a story about this person. That's just how they are. You filed them away in a mental category, stamped with a label, and moved on. But that label is doing something. It's operating beneath every interaction you have with them, shaping the micro signals you send, the tone you carry, the energy you walk in with before a single word is spoken. Neville Goddard taught something that sounds extreme until you test it. Everyone in your world is yourself pushed out. The people around you are mirrors reflecting back the assumptions you hold about them. Change the assumption, and the reflection shifts. This sounds like magical thinking. It feels like it until you catch it happening in your own life, in real time, in ways that make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Here's how the mechanism actually works. When you assume someone is dismissive, you brace for dismissal before they open their mouth. Your body tightens. Your voice carries a subtle edge, a preemptive defense. You filter everything they say through a lens that confirms what you already believe. A neutral comment becomes evidence. A genuine compliment gets dismissed as manipulation, and the other person feels this. They feel the wall. They sense the accusation underneath your words. So what do? They pull back. They get defensive. They become exactly the person you assumed they were. You just watched your assumption complete its own circuit. This works in the other direction too, and that's where it gets interesting. You've met someone who inexplicably believed the best about you. A teacher, a mentor, maybe a stranger who treated you with a warmth you hadn't earned yet. Remember how you behaved around that person? You rose. You became more articulate, more generous, more yourself than you've been in months. Their assumption about you created a space, and you filled it. You didn't decide to be better. The environment they created with their belief drew it out of you like water from a well. So the question that should keep you up tonight is this: what space are you creating for the people you claim to love? Goddard described a practice he called revision. At the end of each day, you replay interactions in your mind, but you revise them. The argument with your partner becomes a moment of deep understanding. The cold shoulder from your colleague becomes genuine warmth. You don't just visualize it, you feel it. You let the revised scene become more real than what actually happened. This sounds like denial. It sounds like pretending, but the people who practice this consistently report something that rational explanation struggles to contain. The other person begins to change, without being asked, without knowing you're doing anything differently. Abdullah, Neville's teacher, would have called this the law working through you. Your inner world is the cause. The outer world, including other people's behavior, is the effect. When you revise your inner image of someone, you're adjusting the cause. The effect has to follow. It has no choice. A mirror doesn't argue with the face in front of it, but let's sit with the uncomfortable part of this, because spiritual depth demands it. If everyone is yourself pushed out, then the cruelty you've received also traces back to something inside you. A fear, an old wound. A belief about your own worth that you've carried so long you forgot it was there. This is where most people abandon the teaching. It feels like blame. Are you saying I caused my own mistreatment? The distinction matters. You didn't cause it through action. You magnetized it through a specific frequency. Doesn't cause the broadcast, it receives it. Your assumptions are your frequency, and changing your frequency is the hardest inner work you'll ever do. Because assumptions about other people are tangled up with assumptions about yourself. The person who assumes their partner will leave is usually carrying a deeper belief. I'm the kind of person people leave. The person who assumes their boss will overlook them harbors something underneath. My contributions are invisible. The outer assumption is the branch. The inner one is the root. Pruning branches gives you a cleaner view for a week. Pulling the root changes the soil permanently. This is where mental diet becomes essential. Your mental diet is the stream of inner conversation you carry throughout the day, the things you say to yourself about yourself and others. Most people's mental diet is a running commentary of complaint, worry, and rehearsal of worst-case scenarios. Every mental rehearsal of being betrayed is a prayer for betrayal. Every imaginal scene of being dismissed is an invitation for dismissal. You're scripting scenes for other people to act out, then getting angry when they follow the script. Changing this requires discipline that most people underestimate. You catch yourself mid-thought, "They're going to cancel on me. I just know it." And you stop. You revise. You replace the image with one that serves you, your friend showing up, excited, present. You feel the warmth of that scene. You let it become your dominant impression. And then the old thought comes back 30 seconds later. So you revise again and again. For days, sometimes, before the new assumption takes root deeply enough to stop requiring conscious effort. Imagine you've been holding a specific image of someone for years, your mother perhaps. You see her as critical, impossible to please. That image has calcified. Every phone call confirms it because you enter the call already flinching. Your voice already carries the tone of a child awaiting judgment. And she responds to that tone, to that energy, to the person you become in her presence, which is the person your assumption has sculpted you into being around her. Now you begin revising. Every night, you replay your last conversation, but she's warm. She's proud of you. She says something she's never said. You feel the way her approval would feel in your body, a loosening in your chest, a softness behind your eyes. You do this for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then one day she calls. Her voice sounds different. Or maybe your ears are different, she says. Something almost tender, something that catches you off guard. You realize the wall between you was made of your own expectation, and you've been quietly dissolving it from the inside. The skeptic in you wants to say she just happened to be in a good mood. Fine. When it happens the second time, and the third, and when other relationships start shifting in the same direction, simultaneously, that explanation starts to crack under its own weight, because the common variable across every changing relationship is you, your inner state, your assumption. There's a test Neville suggested that cuts through all doubt. Pick someone you have a strained relationship with. For 1 week, assume the best about them, in your mind only. Change nothing in your outer behavior. Hold a single clear image of them treating you with respect and warmth. Feel it as though it's already the norm between you. Give it 7 days of consistent inner work. Watch what shifts. The results tend to startle people who try it honestly, because the shifts come from directions you didn't engineer. A text out of nowhere. An apology you stopped expecting. A tone of voice you haven't heard from them in years. This is where the teaching moves from philosophy to lived experience. And lived experience is the only authority that matters in this work. You can read every book Neville ever wrote and remain unchanged. The transformation lives in the practice, in the nightly revision, in the discipline of catching your inner speech and redirecting it, in the patience of holding a new image when the old one keeps fighting for its life. Your relationships are the most accurate feedback system you have for the state of your inner world. When they're strained, something inside you is strained. When they shift toward ease, something inside you has released. The people around you are performing roles you've been casting in the theater of your own mind. And the most radical act of love you can offer anyone is to rewrite their role in your imagination, to see them as the version of themselves that your old wounds wouldn't let you perceive. Tonight, before you sleep, pick one person. Hold them in your mind as you wish they were towards you. Let the scene feel so real that your body responds to it. Let the warmth be genuine, not forced, and then let go. Release the scene the way you'd release a letter into a mailbox, with the quiet certainty that it's already on its way. The mirror has been waiting for a new face. Yours just changed.